Hey friends, and welcome to today's video. Today I thought I would sit down and do a little bit of a get ready with me, chatty kind of video. I am not going to talk too much about the makeup in this video, just one thing that I will point out before I get started. I am going to be using this Ofra liquid lipstick that I received in my June BoxyCharm. This is in the shade Verona. So if you are a BoxyCharm subscriber and you watch me because of my BoxyCharm reviews, I am going to be using this so you can see the color, the tone, all of that. And I also have used it before since receiving BoxyCharm, so I can also give you my thoughts on it. I mean, it's an Ofra liquid lipstick. They perform really well. So I would say that it just comes down to if you like the shade or not, and it actually looks a little different on me than I expected it to. So I will show that probably towards the end of the video because I tend to put the lipstick on last. Everything else I'm just kind of gonna go through. I don't really have a plan and just get a chance to chat a little bit. I'm using the Makeup Forever Step 1 Skin Equalizer in the Hydrating Primer. So yesterday was Canada Day here in Canada. And it has been so freaking hot this weekend. I am somebody who, I tend to be a little bit of a introvert. I don't need to be around people a lot, and other than a very small handful of people, I find that I'm not somebody who gets more energized by having people around. I find I need to sort of spend time by myself after being around people. So it is not exhausting, that's not right, but it takes energy for me to be around most people other than a small handful of people. And you're probably wondering where this is going. So going into this weekend, I was thinking I don't have any plans. I actually like that. So looking forward to just, you know, doing some of my own things this weekend. The problem is that it is so hot out this weekend, so incredibly freaking hot, that I am going kind of stir crazy, because even though I like to spend time by myself, I really like going for walks and kind of being out places that are busy, because I get to sort of have that noise and people around me without having to participate in it, if that makes any sense. I like going to coffee shops. I just like going out for walks and things like that. But it is like, I can't go out this weekend. I'm using my Milk Makeup Blur Liquid in the shade Ivory. So the last few days, it's been like 35, 36 degrees Celsius out, and then really, really humid. It just feels like you're going into like a hot sauna when you go outside. And for my American friends, I'm terrible at knowing Fahrenheit, but I did a little calculation. So it's been 35, 36 degrees in like actual temperature, but then if you factor in the humidex and what it feels like yesterday it felt at one point like 49 degrees Celsius out, and when you change that into Fahrenheit, it felt like it was 120 degrees Fahrenheit out with the humidity. So it's just bonkers. Like, I can't go out in that. If I go out, I just feel like I'm melting as soon as I get outside. So I live within like a 10-minute walk of Parliament Hill, which is where everything kind of goes down in, well, not everything, but it's a popular place to go in Ottawa for Canada Day. This is such a high coverage foundation, and I'm not used to using high coverage foundations. So I decided that I can't live so close that I can see the Peace Tower from my place and not go out. So I went out at 7 o'clock yesterday morning and stayed out until 9, and I was cooked. Like, it was crazy. It was also crazy the number of people heading to Parliament Hill at that time. Yeah. So it was interesting though. I wasn't in Ottawa for Canada Day last year, and that's when it was the 150th birthday of Canada. And they had a ton of people here, and it was not managed well. I completely understand that they needed to have like security, but you had to go through all of this like gates and screening before getting onto Parliament Hill. And usually here in Ottawa on a day-to-day basis, you can just wander right onto the lawn in front of Parliament. Usually on Canada Day you have to go through and like, I think always you had to get your bag checked, but usually it wasn't a huge line or anything like that. But apparently last year it was like 4-hour waits to try to get onto Parliament Hill. So this year, I think as a combination of people knowing how bad it was last year and also just how hot it was, and it wasn't like an anniversary year this year or anything, people didn't go to the hill during the day. But they still had like so much security, all those big concrete barriers out so that people couldn't like drive into crowds that were there. And you know, I understand it, but it makes it so you just feel like you're being herded into different areas. Like I was out at 7 o'clock in the morning when nobody really was around other than the people getting set up, and I still had to sort of divert everywhere I was walking because of all of these gates. I'm still using my Tarte Smooth Operator Amazonian Clay Finishing Powder. This is my absolute favorite powder that I have. So just so I don't sound completely negative about Canada Day and, you know, how it is here in Ottawa, I saw some awesome things when I was out on that walk. The family that I saw that was probably out there, like one of the first ones to go get onto Parliament Hill, was what appeared to be a Middle Eastern Muslim family, and all in like all the Canada t-shirts, all the Canada accoutrement, and just super enthusiastic and, you know, not speaking French or English. And I just think with everything going on in the world, it's nice to see that Canada Day and the people who were there to celebrate it were as diverse as they are. Now, this is not a big patting ourselves on the back kind of thing. Canada has a lot to do to, you know, we're not perfect and just keep working on it. But it was nice to see the Canadian pride being a large, diverse group of people. To highlight and blush and contour and all of that, I'm going back to my Pure Bronze and Brighten palette. I haven't used this in a while. Not sure how much of a fair shake I gave it. It's just, I mean, I liked it better than I thought I would, but I just haven't gone back to it much since I first tested it, so I thought I would today. The other thing that you really notice when you are out at, you know, 7 o'clock in the morning is the like hundreds and thousands of people that it takes to do, you know, what it takes to get ready for something like Canada Day in Ottawa. All the people setting up the gates, all the paramedics getting ready because of how like freaking hot it was, and just, they always do that. The folks who run, you know, food trucks and food stalls and, you know, selling Canada Day stuff who are all out there getting ready. Just all the people who work for the city who are out working on things. It's just, you know, those are all folks who are out there super early doing things so that everybody else can, you know, have a good time and have fun safely and, you know, just have a good time. And the last thing I saw that really warmed my heart was while all these folks were out, you know, getting everything all ready for all of the people who are going to come and celebrate, I saw a gentleman who was coming back from a store where he had bought some sweets and things, and he had bought a bunch of extra popsicles and was offering them to the security and paramedics who were out all ready for the day. Because that blush came out just a little bit stronger than I wanted it to, especially up near my temples, I'm just going back over it again with some powder, and I may just bounce over it again with my sponge. If you hear any barking in the background, my neighbors got a new puppy, and it tends to yip and bark a little bit when they go out. I'm gonna go in with my brows, and I've been using lately this combination of two products by the Brow Gal. This brow powder I use to kind of define the brows a little bit and fill them in, and then the Brow Gal Instant Brow Hair Tinted Brow Gel with microfibers I use to very lightly set my brows. I think I went off on a tangent there and didn't mention why I was talking about being an introvert and that sort of thing. Or maybe I did. It's really because, you know, I haven't had a chance. It's been so hot to go outside and be around people. So I just feel, as I said, a little bit stir crazy, and something happens to me when I start to get a little stir crazy and maybe a little down, where then I don't feel like doing anything, and it kind of is a vicious circle. So sitting down and filming, you know, always makes me feel like I've accomplished and done something. And sometimes I think, oh, it's a lot of work to like sit down and start filming, but I'm always really happy when I've done it. I don't know if that's like any of you with things that are creative. It's like not everything that you enjoy doing. What's the right way of saying this? Sometimes you just enjoy having done something, but you still have to work yourself up to actually do the thing to start with. I always make sure I sit down and I film when I want to, so that I'm happy and enjoying it, because this is something that I want to do. But sometimes I sort of, you know, I'm having my coffee in the morning and I'm thinking, you know, I could just throw my hair up in a bun and not put on any makeup for the day and maybe just, you know, watch some things on Netflix. But I know I'm gonna be so much happier once I actually sit down and begin filming. In the summer, I've not been using a huge amount of eye makeup, and in fact, usually when I go to work lately, I've been doing sort of this base product brows. I don't tend to do contour, but base product brows, blush, and then something on my lips. And not only have I not been doing eyeshadow, I haven't even really been doing mascara. My eyes have been a little irritated lately, so I've been trying to lay off of using products on them. But what I'm going to do today is use the Kitten palette, which was my favorite palette from last year. And I'm just going in with the pink, just as a little wash of color. Maybe I'll use a little bit of the light brown there for some shading, but just to do a really simple eye look. And I'm actually just going in with my finger. In my last sort of personal get ready with me, I talked about different things happening in my life, sort of who I am, some different aspects of me. And one of the questions I was asked was about sort of what I'm looking forward to, or something about my future or future plans. There's a lot going on in my head about that in different aspects of my life, so I'm not going to get too much into it. But one of the things that I want to focus on a little bit more is being healthy. So when I sit down and film these, you see my face. And, you know, depending on the angle and that sort of thing, you don't really know too much what the rest of me looks like. I have been sort of all different sizes and healthinesses. That's not the right way of saying that, but you know, definitely up and down through my life. At one point in my life, I was like, in university, I was like 112, 115 pounds and like wearing a size 4-6. And then way up from there. And a number of years ago, just after getting separated, was sort of at my heaviest weight. I lost like 40-ish pounds and then have gained some of it back, or like, oh, not a lot, but gained some of it back over the last 5 years or so. I don't want to say like actual weight numbers or anything like that, but I wear like a size 18 now, sort of in around there, depending on, you know, cut and fit and all that kind of thing. And it doesn't make me super happy. So I am trying to focus a little bit more on eating the right things, on getting a bit more movement, which is partly why having it so freaking hot outside is bugging me this weekend, because I would love to get out and go for some long walks. I was able to do that a little bit yesterday, walked about 10K. The day before I walked, you know, maybe about 15. But it's just really hard when it's so hot out. I'm never gonna be somebody who's like super skinny. When I was 110 pounds, or 115 and around there, like I was oddly skinny for myself. Like you could see all my ribs and that kind of thing. And it wasn't super healthy. But if I could be like a size 10, size 12, I would enjoy that. But it's something that I my entire life have wanted to do and always struggled with. So I don't know why I'm saying that. I mean, for a while I had maybe about a year ago, I had some videos on another channel that I have that I never told anybody about that was more about diet and exercise, and I kept that up for a little bit. Posted some videos on there, mostly as sort of a vloggy kind of thing for accountability for myself. But then, you know, started working at a new job, didn't have the time. I'm not saying this like I have any plan of what I am doing, but it's just what's been on my mind about sort of my next personal goal to achieve for myself. Getting back to putting on makeup, I am going to do a little bit of eyeliner today just to define my eyes a little bit. And I'm using my Starstruck Ciate London liner, just not the side with the star on it. I'm not going to go in and curl my lashes until I am sure my eyeliner is set. So I'm going to go into this Pure palette again with the highlighter, and I'm actually just going to tap that on a little bit. I wouldn't usually do it this way, except I forgot to bring in a highlighter brush, and I'm being lazy. Here we go, that's some nice brightness. Do just a tiny bit there. So I'm sort of one of those people when it comes to sort of eating well, where I've tried everything and I don't stick to it for more than a couple of days. And I know it's a personal, it's an inside thing, not like I know the right things to do. The problem is not knowing the right information. The problem is doing it, because when I have days where I am feeling stir crazy, housebound, like I haven't, like I just don't know what to do with myself. I know that for me, you know, eating food that is like lots of carbs, not healthy for me, it calms my mind down a little bit, if that makes any sense. And I know that's not good. It's like literally using food like a drug. In the last week or so, I have started eating vegetarian and mostly vegan. Little bit of some eggs here and there in like baked products and that kind of thing. And I've been feeling better. I was vegetarian for about 10 years, was never vegan, always ate dairy and eggs and cheese. But it's just sort of feeling right to give myself like a little bit of like bumpers. Like I'm not saying that this is like a diet, but I'm thinking, okay, if I can focus on having mostly vegetables, fruits, plants, whole grains, having the guideline of like no meat, no fish, no dairy, no cheese, no eggs kind of keeps me a little bit focused on making good meals for myself. For mascara, I'm going in with my Pure Fully Charged mascara powered by magnetic technology. I do have a review on this in a group of Pure products. In any case, it's a hard thing to talk about because I feel like in so many parts of my life, in terms of my work, my relationships, my finances, I have my crap together. And eating healthy, exercising, and liking the way I look when I look at myself in the mirror has been a struggle my entire life, and I just haven't found what is clicking. And you know, I am close to a milestone birthday coming up in a while, and I just feel like I should have this figured out by now. And it is frustrating, and I want to, and it's something that I want to work towards, is figuring it out. I love the way I feel when I exercise. I love the way I feel when I lift weights. I love the way I feel when I eat well. It's stress and letting myself off the hook, like, oh, it's Monday. Mondays are hard. You should have a treat today, or relax. Don't worry about going to the gym. Oh, it's the weekend. Weekends are when, you know, you can have, you know, more meals that are not great for you. Oh, it's Wednesday, it's hump day, like nobody feels like exercising today. Oh, it's Friday, you know, or like, oh, it's been such a hard day at work. Just stop on the way home and pick up something, you know, to have for dinner that's not what you planned on cooking for yourself. All of that, and I can't quite get the puzzle pieces to fit in the right way, and it incredibly frustrates me. But all I can do is keep working on it. That's all I can do. Maybe keep you guys updated on what I'm doing, if I'm having any success, and not even success, just finding the right rhythm is what I need to do, and I'm just not there yet. So to finish off this look, I am going to use the Ofra liquid lipstick that we received in our June BoxyCharm. This one is in the shade Verona, and I will apply that now. So there we go, is a beautiful chocolatey brown neutral shade that I think gives the one defining feature of this very, neutral look that I have going on. Some nice highlighter, a little bit of contour, and just a really pretty chocolate nude lip. I really like this. It feels very 90s to me, and I think works well with my coloring and everything. Even if it's not something I would have initially chosen for myself, I very much enjoy it. I don't know about it being a summer color so much. I would probably use it a little bit more in the fall and the winter, but I do think it is gorgeous, and it is Ofra, and it wears beautifully and comfortably throughout the day. So that was my Get Ready With Me video. I hope you enjoyed it. I chatted about a lot of stuff. Would love to hear your comments. Leave those down below. If you like this kind of video, give it a thumbs up, and also ask me questions. I would be happy to answer it in the next video I do like this. And for all my Canadian friends, happy belated Canada Day. Welcome to a hot, hot summer. And what else? I have been off on my filming schedule lately because it's summer and things are busy. So hit that bell notification, hit the like if you like this video, subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.